Hey there, and welcome to another episode of your favorite libertarian. I'm your favorite libertarian, and this is the Streamlight Wedge XT. Full disclosure on this light, I was sent this from Streamlight for my honest feedback, and that's what you guys are going to get. You're going to get the pros and the cons. If you do, however, want to help support the channel and you deem this worthy of your hard-earned money, you can click on my link in the description or in the pinned comment. It'll take you to all my links where you can shop all sorts of awesome companies that I do business with personally, that I trust. Primary Arms does carry this on their website, so if you want to check it out and you think that after watching all the pros and the cons it makes sense to buy, that would really help out the channel if you do so using my link. If you could do that, that's awesome. And you're awesome. The last thing is going to be that I take prayer requests. So if you have any need for prayer, don't hesitate to put it in the comment section below. I love praying for you guys. And if you want a more private setting to do so, you can go to my Instagram, just your favorite libertarian on Instagram, and you can DM me that way. But what's this video gonna be about? We're gonna kick things off with a what's in the box segment, showing you everything that comes in the box. We'll also show you some indoor and outdoor use of this light, looking at the spill, looking at the throw, for various distances on high and low mode, in and outdoors. We'll go through all the various modes and settings for this light so you know exactly how to set it up based on your needs for the light. Also do some pocket modeling for you. And we will wrap it up with final thoughts, giving you my pros and, dare I say, my cons of this light based on your use case. Opinions may vary. Now with no further ado, let's get into the actual video. And now it's time for everyone's favorite portion of the video, what's in the box. This is the portion of the video where I show you what's in the box. All right, let's see what's in the box. A sticker. Congrats on 50 years, guys. That's pretty cool. A really small Allen key. The USB-C charging cable. And the light itself, the star of the show. Speaking of which, let's get into this right now, shall we? Here is the Streamlight Wedge XT deep carry pocket clip right here. We have our lanyard to pull it out easier. On the other side, we have our charging port for USB-C charging. Indicator lights are right here. There's your tail cap, and there is your flashlight head. As far as charging goes, it's going to take 5 hours to charge this from completely dead to fully charged. If it is completely dead or getting close to it, there'll be a little indicator light right here. While you're charging it, that indicator light will be red, and then once it's fully charged, that indicator light will be green. As far as how long that charge will last, that will depend on what mode you're running it in, if it's high mode or low mode. So let's go over those specs really quick while we're here. High is 500 lumens, a runtime of 2 hours, a throw of 87 meters, and a candela rating of 1900 candela. Low mode is going to be 50 lumens, 11-hour runtime, 28 meters of throw, and 200 candela. There's 3 different options on how you can program this light. The first one I'll show you is going to be called lockout mode. Now, the reason you might want to do lockout mode is if you're traveling, you have this in a bag, and you don't want it to accidentally turn on and run down your battery. The way to do that is to simply click this 5 times, and on the 5th time, hold it down. It'll flash, and then you'll know that you're in lockout mode. This is how it works. So first you can see that I have the light and it's working. Now we'll lock it out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, hold, flash, and now if I click this on, it's not turning on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, hold, and now the light works again. The last 2 modes are part of the 10-tap programming, which is synonymous with Streamlight. The way that the 10-tap works is you tap the button 10 times, and on the 10th time you hold it down, the light flashes, and that's how you change modes. The mode that this is in by default is high-low, meaning 500 lumens is the high, and it starts with the high, and then you have to do something extra to get to the low mode, which is 50 lumens. So if you just click it on, that's automatically high. If you do momentary, it's automatically high. And if you want it to go to low mode, you have to double click it real fast. 1, 2, now it's on the 50 lumen low mode. That's how I prefer personally to have it set up, and that's how it's set up by default. So if you like that, you don't have to do anything to this. It's automatically going to be like that. But if you do want to have it the opposite way, which would be starting out in low and then having to do more stuff to get to high, you can do that by doing the 10 taps, and I'll demonstrate that right now. You have to be deliberate with these taps, and you have to do it not too slow, but also not too fast. If it's not working, that's probably why. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Hold. There we go. It blinked, so now we are in the low-high mode. Holding it down for momentary, low, 50 lumens. Just clicking it on, low, 50 lumens. And now wanting it in high mode, you have to do something special. 1, 2, and now it is the 500 lumens for high. Why you would want this? Well, I would guess, because I'm not in law enforcement or military, I would guess if you were pulling someone over at the side of the road and it was nighttime and you wanted to look at their license and registration, you might want it automatically on low. So when you turn it on, you can see documents a lot better. It's not bouncing back at you and blinding you. And then if something fishy's going on and you need to look inside the vehicle, you can double click it and then you get the 500 lumens. I could see potentially that being a use case for this, but in my everyday life, I want it to be high all the time unless I want to do some type of admin task, and then I'll do the extra work to get to low. But that's just me. Let me know which mode is your favorite in the comments section below. Hey there, it's your favorite waistline. All right, so let's talk about the ecosystem that this light is in, because it's gonna be important for context on some of the testing that I've been doing with this light. Over here we have the Lightning OTF knife. It is a metal body, so that's something important to note for later. And I have a full review of this on my channel if you want to check it out. Then of course the Wedge XT right here. I'll normally have my phone in this part of the pocket, and then on this side, palm clip, pepper spray, wallet, keys, and my Snake Staff Systems tourniquet. I don't really keep anything in my back pockets because I like to sit down and not hurt my back. And then of course this. In terms of why I have these items located where I do, which I think is very important, not only for the context of this video, but just for the context of carrying these types of things every day in general. Right side is going to be the non-lethal, less than lethal side of the pocket. Wallet, keys, tourniquet is going to be to help stop bleeding. Then the pepper spray is going to be where it's something that requires more than a stern talking to or your hands, and less than having to pull your gun out. I have this on the right side because I'm making the conscious decision to grab the pepper spray with my right hand instead of grabbing my gun with my right hand. So I like that this is on this side for those reasons. And in theory, you can aim better with your dominant hand. So making sure that the person who needs the spicy face gets the spicy face is very important. On my left side, I have the light itself and the knife. As far as me being a right-hand shooter again and drawing with my right hand, if I am scanning, I want to do it without a gun attached to the light, so I'm going to pull the light out, scan. If I do see something that requires my gun, I can grab the gun with my right hand, draw it, and I can use the light in conjunction with my gun, and I don't have to switch hands, I don't have to drop the light, I can use both, so that's nice. Also, right next to it we have the knife. And to be honest, I'm not getting in knife fights every day. It's mostly for opening boxes, opening mail, etc. Very admin type tasks. But in the rare instance that someone would be trying to grab my gun and remove it from me to use it against me, I can pin this in the holster with my right hand, and then I can pull with my non-dominant hand out of the pocket my knife, deploy it, and hopefully change the mind of the person that wanted the gun to not want the gun anymore. All right, let's check the wear between these two. A lot of reasons for wear having two metal bodies right next to each other. One is just moving around in general and having them rub. Another is pulling out the flashlight right next to this and rubbing up against it, or deploying the knife right next to the light, having it rub up against it. So let's see what kind of wear we have. Now this is the side that would rub up against the knife. And as you can see, there's really not much wear at all. This is from about a week of usage so far, so we'll see how well it holds up altogether. But right now it's looking really good, and you can see the body of this knife is really worn down and it is aggressively textured. So if anything's going to rub up against this and make the coating come off, it's going to be this combination. While carrying this light, I did have one light ND, or negligent discharge of the light, which was not great. I'll explain how I think it happened in the context so you guys are aware of what could potentially happen with your XT. But I will say, through the course of the entire weekend otherwise, never happened again, and I'll explain all the crazy things I did with this in my pocket as well. First, let's talk about how this ND'd, I think. We went to the John Crist comedy show, super funny, highly recommend. When we got to the venue, I noticed that there were metal detectors, and if you're anything like me, when you see metal detectors, it usually means you gotta take a quick walk back to the vehicle. So in taking that walk back to the vehicle and taking things out of my pockets and other places, I think what happened is I was bending over, putting something away, and I activated this light, or when I was reaching into my pocket to grab my knife out or something else, I might have accidentally pressed it. So it could have been me, maybe, but I did notice that this light was on in my pocket when I got back to the vehicle. So take that for what it's worth. It never happened again, but it was something weird that happened with this light, so I want to make sure I made note of it. I will say, the rest of the weekend, I was in the basement all weekend with my dad building barn doors. So if you guys want to see the barn door episode of Building a Basement Gym, it'll be up here or up here. Whole series up here or up here. Eventually we're going to have the gym down there, so that's going to be pretty cool. Stay tuned for that. But in any regard, I was bending over, I was sitting, standing, kneeling, getting in all sorts of really awkward positions to make measurements, to put barn doors together, to fasten them together, to hang them. And in that entire weekend, never had the light accidentally turn on. So again, I don't know if that one time was just the perfect storm, if it was just me, or if it was because of this plastic clicky tail cap. It's not metallic, springy sounding like a lot of the weapon lights are with the rubber texture over top of it. This is plastic, and I'll see if you can hear how it sounds right now. So that could potentially be a reason it getting clicked on, you're not noticing it because you didn't feel or hear the click, and then your light's just on. Again, only happened one time, but want to make sure you guys are aware of it. The last thing I want to show you in my pants regarding the flashlight is going to be how to get this out of your pocket and how to get it in, best ways to deploy it, that sort of thing. Best way is going to be with this lanyard, because this is a very deep pocket carry clip. It's going to be very awkward to try to like fish your fingers in and pull it out. It's going to be a lot easier to use this lanyard. You can either pull it out this way, or you can pull it out this way. I prefer this way. Just kind of grab it like this, and then it's already in your hand, and then you can blind people on the internet with it. So it's pretty easy to put it into the pocket, because like a lot of pocket clips, it has this little lip right here that kind of swoops up so that it'll kind of act as a feed ramp to get your initial seam of the pocket in, and then once it's in this area, it'll hold it really well. As far as retention goes, I've never had any issues with this coming out, and you really have to tug at it to get it to come out all the way, and that's with the lanyard. So that's pretty cool. Also, this lanyard is great for if you're at a rave and you want to do stuff like this. Now it's time to do some indoor and outdoor testing with the Wedge XT. Here's our control for the indoor testing. Here's the room with the lights on, and here's the room with the lights off. Starting with the lights on with the 500 lumen setting. Here is the hot spot. Here's the spill. More spill. Gonna do some umbrella lighting here. And back to the spill. And as you can see everything very clearly. Now with the lights off, 500 lumens. Here's the hot spot. Everything is very detailed. I can see everything. It's very usable. There's the spill. And here's umbrella lighting with the lights off. Kind of shadowy, you can't see as well, but it's okay, I guess. Now the light's on at 50 lumens. Not much of a notable difference between just having the lights on and having the light pointing at it, but you know, it's 50 lumens. It's not supposed to be that amazing. Umbrella lighting, can't even really tell, and hotspot. Now with the lights off, here's 50 lumens. It's okay, but I wouldn't want to count on being able to identify a ton of things with this 50 lumens. And there's umbrella lighting. That's where it gets really dark and shaded. And hotspot. Here's our control for the outdoor testing. This is what it looks like during the day. Starting with 500 lumens, here is a close-up of this part of the backyard. And then here's me trying to see as far as I can out into the wetlands and into the lake. You can kind of see that white sign, that shiny block right there. That's 108 yards. And here is it at 50 lumens. Obviously not great. You can kind of see directly in front of you in the immediate vicinity, but trying to go out to distance is not happening. Final thoughts. Let's start with the cons because this video has been very pro heavy. Two things. One, we already talked about in the video, which is the clicky tail cap. I'd like this to be rubberized and a lot more aggressive in the clicking, so you know for sure if it's clicked on or off in your pocket, if you can actually hear it or feel it maybe. It only happened one time as far as the accidental activation. Never happened again since, so it might have just been me, but I'd rather just have this be rubberized plastic like all my other clicky tail caps and have a little bit more spring and positive clicky click into it. So that's one thing. The other thing would be that, and coming close, this is important. Once you see that this looks like a face in a ponytail, you can't unsee it. So now every time you look at this, that is what you'll see. You're welcome. Hey guys. Does this light make sense to you? It's really gonna come down to two questions. Do you want something really small and light and easy to carry around? Or do you want the sun in your pocket? I kind of like having both options, which is why I have a lot of flashlights, but I think if you are gonna want to pocket carry this every day, have it just kind of disappear in your pants and have it be something that's super light, super comfortable to carry, this makes a lot of sense, but you are gonna make that sacrifice of not having the sun in your pocket, meaning the candela and the lumens aren't gonna be as good, but you're also getting something much smaller, much slimmer, and a lot more affordable. This is about $100 compared to those big candela and lumen monsters that are just like blindingly bright. Those ones are great, and I have a lot of those lights too, but they're not going to be the form factor of this. They're not going to be as comfortable to carry because you're sacrificing the weight and the size and also the price departments in that scenario. This, again, being $100, you're talking about upwards of $200, $300 for some of those other lights. Cloud Defensive MCH, HRT, AWLS handheld, Mod Light OKW, PLH, all of those are lights that put out a lot of light, but are much larger than this. If you want to carry this in your pocket, yes, you can carry those other lights in your pocket, but this is gonna be a lot easier to do so with and a lot more affordable. So it's really up to you. Does this make sense for you to buy? For me, it does. I still have it in my pocket to film this segment of the video. I just pulled it out of my pocket and started filming. And that should tell you that this is something that I really like carrying around. Well, we sure did have fun, didn't we? Good times. Couple things before you leave. One, thank you for staying to the end of the video. That is awesome. You are the super duper subscriber, and to prove it, if you comment super duper, I'll know that you watched the end of this video, and everyone else that is in the Cool Kids Club will know. Leave a comment as well, just a random comment about the video, anything you want, including your prayer requests. This is the reminder that you can put those prayer requests in the comment section below. You can also DM me on Instagram if you want a more private setting to do so. I love praying for you guys and I love reading your comments. So make sure that you put one down there. I will read it and I will respond. Secondly is going to be, again, the Linktree reminder, and that is just what keeps this channel flowing, keeps the content going for you, and helps support the channel along with all the awesome things that you guys do, like double checking, making sure you're subscribed, liking, sharing, all the algorithm stuff. I really appreciate that as well. You guys are awesome for doing all those things, and I'm really appreciative that I have such an amazing audience. Typically, it's going to be code YourFave at checkout, and that's going to save you at least 10%. And then, of course, there is nothing else except to say, as I always do, and I really mean, thanks for watching, stay free, and God bless. See you guys.
up at night, yeah. Make all the demons quiet, yeah. We were built to thrive, yeah. I think that we've all had enough. What keeps you up at night, yeah. Make all the demons quiet, yeah. We were built to thrive, yeah.